I'm the oldest. The prototype. We're going to start the service now. I'm going to read a couple of Pirkei Tehillim. We'll do the Espedim, the eulogies, and zeu. So, ברשותכם, שביתי אדוני לנגדי תמיד, כי ממני בל אמות. לכן שמח ליבי ויגל כבודי, אף בשרי ישכון לבטח. כי לא תעזוב נפשי לשאול, לא תיתן חסידך לראות שחת. תודיעני אורח חיים, סוב השמחות את פניך, נעימות בימינך נצח. מזמור לדוד, אדוני רואי לא אחסר, בנאות דשא ירביצני, אמני מנוחות ינחלני נפשי ישובב. ינחני במעגלי צדק למען שמו, גם כי אלך בגל צל מוות, לא ארערה, כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני, תערוך לפניי שולחן נגד צורריי. תשענת בשמן ראשי, כוסי רוויה. אף טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי, ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים. Eulogies are supposed to, everyone has their own concept of what you're supposed to do. Some like to go over the lives, rehash the history. Each child has a specific and a special, unique relationship with his parent. So these are some of my thoughts. I think it goes without a doubt that my father is an interesting guy. Definitely unique in his way. I have early memories from when we lived in the Northeast, and my father was actually first serving in the military. I would actually, they told me I would run out to meet him, walk out, wobble out as a toddler when he would come back. He became a teacher, started the homebound program in Philadelphia. He was born in Borough Park, made Aliyah to Philadelphia in, I think it was in 1960, where he went to Penn. First he went to NYU, then Penn, like I said, became a teacher. And we moved eventually to Cheltenham, and then in 1978, we made Aliyah as a family to Israel. My father was a Zionist. He believed in strong Jews. I remember that as a child. It was very important to him that a Jew stands up for himself in the face of whatever. He was diverse, he was an intellect, he was crude, he was loving, he was rude. All of the above. There's so many words that could be used to describe him. He was a loving father. He provided a place of calm, actually. Whenever we would go to his house, we were able to be quiet, relaxed. No narishkeit, as they say. The last year for us was very tough. And I'm grateful that he's not suffering anymore. I'm going to read something that I just think that reflects some of the thoughts of my children, they asked, my youngest daughter wrote something, and I want to read it. She wrote to him, "Hey, old man, I'm sorry I'm not there to say this myself, but this should do. I wanted to tell you thank you. Thank you for all the love and joy I've received from you. You maybe don't know this, but for the past years you've been a calming down call for me. Every time I was going through a tough time in life, I would call you. Not to share what I'm going through, just to talk with my old man, to make me feel love and to have a good laugh. You can always make me calm and feel strong and full of love from my family. You left me with your silly songs, the smell of your cologne, your hand holding mine. You also left me with the feeling of you bonking my head with your cane. Honestly, I don't believe you're really gone. I'm sure you snuck out, put on a nice jacket and a hat, and ran off to see some Haredi wedding in person just to have a good laugh. Tati, I will forever think of you and smile. I love you so much. You will always be missed." And to top that off, my other daughter sent me a melody from the Baal Shem Tov, a melody that was written regarding the ascent to heaven. Es ist mein Tate, mein teure Tate. Thank God your children were able to be machmir, I don't know how to say that in English, but in the mitzvah of kibud av. And we will remember the good things. And we'll smile. And you live on with us. Thank you. Faith. This way.
I am going to stand on the stool because this is ridiculous. So, everyone see me? Wait, I just wrote something on my phone, and I warn you, it's a little long, but I hope you'll enjoy it. So a month ago, I came to visit, and it was a mixed bag of a visit, sentimental, anger, love, nostalgia, older children with their older parents. It's not always easy. It's something very important to work on. But something really special happened. I was alone with Dad. I wasn't always alone with Dad because my brothers were so amazing. I don't live here, and they were so amazing, and I want to thank you. I'm proud of you guys. I didn't think I'd cry. This is ridiculous. But anyway, so a really special moment happened. I sat down with him. I took out a book, looked through his library, and took out a book of poems that he had there. And I found a special poem that he used to, I think he read it more to Josh and Jesse because they were little. But I was always there, and he knew it was my favorite poem, which I've actually also taught my students, and I'm also a special ed teacher. And that was because of him, because he always came back happy from work, or sad, but always loved his job. And I took out the poem, I started reading it, and he was not in good shape, obviously. And then he started reciting it next to me. He remembered all the words. I did a few sentences, and he did a few sentences. So I'm going to try to do it justice, because he used to say it. I'll try to do it the way he did. It's called The Tale of Custard the Dragon by Ogden Nash. One second. It's long, but it's great. Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little gray mouse, and a little yellow dog, and a little red wagon, and a realio trulio little pet dragon. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little gray mouse she called her Blink, and the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard, But the dragon was a coward, and she called him Custard. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth and spikes on top of him and scales underneath, mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and realio, trulio, daggers on his toes. Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a cage. But Custard cried for a nice, safe cage. Belinda tickled him. She tickled him unmerciful. Ink, Blink, and Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon at the realio, trulio, cowardly dragon. Belinda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink said, "Weak," which is giggling for a mouse. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, when Custard cried for a nice, safe cage. Suddenly, they heard a nasty sound, and Mustard growled, and they all looked around. "Meouch," cried Ink, and "Ooh," cried Belinda, for there was a pirate climbing in the window. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. His beard was black, one leg was wood. It was clear that the pirate meant no good. Belinda paled, and she cried, "Help, help!" But Mustard fled with a terrified yelp. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and little Mouse Blink was strategically mouseholed. But up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine, clashed his tail like irons in a dungeon. With a clatter and a clank and a jangling squirm, he went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. The pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon and gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit, and Custard gobbled him every bit. Belinda embraced him. Mustard licked him. No one mourned for his pirate victim. Ink and Blink in glee did gyrate around the dragon that ate the pirate. Belinda still lives in her little white house with her little black kitten and her little gray mouse, and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon, and her realio, trulio little pet dragon. Finish it here. Belinda is as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chase lions down the stairs. Mustard is as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard keeps crying for a nice, safe cage. Thank you, Daddy, for such a wonderful, imaginative childhood. Do you remember it?
First of all, I want to convey what an honor it is to have so many of you here today. Speaking for my whole family, we truly gain strength by your presence here with us. Memories. As a kid, I mean, it's hard to come up with all of them, obviously. Just a couple stood out, just flashed in my head. Memories as a kid of my dad. A shoulder to cry on. Waking me up for school by putting our cat's paws on my nose. Went away for an extended period, sending me a cassette tape with a recording of him telling me how much he missed me and where's Myron. And the song Joshua, I think you made it together. I didn't forget that. Rarely exhibiting anger. Rarely. And that's, his whole life. Rarely. Raising us. In my teens, getting good ass whooping for taking my little brother Jesse on a road trip to D.C. as a new driver without telling my dad. It was impressive. Yeah. What? I didn't hear what you said. In my 20s, calling my dad after my first jump as a paratrooper. motivating me to work on transitioning from Army enlisted to becoming an officer, something I didn't think of. Flying up to spend the week with me while assigned to Fort Ben Harrison, Indiana, taking him to the Indy 500 Speedway. Giving him lifts on my motorcycle. Accompanying me to my flight physical at Fort Indiantown Gap, PA. In my 30s, being in the hospital with me when my children were born. Finding a way to reach my dad, letting him know I made it back after every combat-mounted patrol in Iraq. In my 40s, going to racetracks with me, Daytona 500, watching me pilot a Piper fixed-wing aircraft on the ground, from the ground, canoeing a gator-ridden river together, attending my change of command officiation as an Army battalion commander. He was there with me for pretty much everything. In my 50s, giving my dad a good tapered haircut every month. Sharing all my adventures with him. Being at my promotion to colonel. It's hard for me to, when I was giving my speech, seeing him there, I didn't think that would happen due to his health, but he was there. And taking care of him in any capacity I could. I know I'm likely missing some very meaningful ones, but my best memory has been that practically every time I called my father on the phone, he proudly responded with, "How's my boy?" Many of you knew my father either as Moishe, Marvin, or Marv. My daughters, nieces, and nephews knew him as either Pops or Tati. Whatever he was known as, to me, he was my dad. My dad was vital in shaping and molding who I am throughout my upbringing. A Vietnam-era soldier, a protector, a teacher, a mentor, and a best friend. One who loved and supported me no matter what. One who was always there for me when I just couldn't see through the darkness. And one who equally taught me not to sweat the small stuff. My dad was someone I never stopped striving to make proud. There's little more important than an endeavor to provide joy and honor to one's dad, and always demonstrating worthiness of the years of investment in you. Time, energy, affection, aggravation, and worry. When my life's path was still developing, my father was a truly vibrant foundation of positivity, and he provided me with a solid direction. He was a strong motivational force for who I eventually came to be. He was a powerful source of affection unmatched by any other. My father is a crucially important part. A father is a crucially important part of a child's life. My dad has always been my bridge over shallow waters, and my rock for whom I've gained strength. Although my siblings and I are now left with no surviving parents, I know I couldn't have been more proud to be his son. There will never be a single day that I don't miss him. Thank you.
I should stand on the thing, too. So you're an ass for picking that one, jerk. They said prepare words and you should think about what you're going to say so you're not rambling on. Screw that shit. So just two recurring themes. Mark hit one with being able to create sanctuary. Enough said. Came there, you relaxed. Mom's house is nuts. Yeah. Fighting with Yaakov. Usually my fault. And come to Dad's and you just relax, sit on the couch, TV's on. I had a different father than those three. I don't know who they're talking about. You know, he played ball with me. He took me to my games. He sat in the creek. Pfft. I sat and I watched TV with my dad. And so that was one definite. I told him, last week, I said, see, Pop, you're still fucking doing it. We're all here, we're chilling out. You're still giving us a spot to come and just zone out. You want to put a movie on? He goes, go watch out there. No, he went like this. I said, what the hell does that mean? It means go watch out there. I'm like, so you can talk? He's like, yeah. But more important, and maybe not less valuable, I don't know. But I talked to him one time, we were talking about it. He's like, I'm a bad guy. I said, yeah, you're a bad guy. It's true. And so you're also a good guy. And that's true for everybody. It's not just him. And we're just talking. I think a lot about, like, what do I want, what do I value in life, and what's the definition of success for me. Definition of success is that when I kick it, my kids know that I love them. I said to Dad, with all your craziness and all the crazy life, we all know just how much you love us. And even up to the last day, I kept on telling him, what do you want to say to your dad? You know he's dying. So when I get the last words, and Dad, I love you, I love you. He said, I love you too, all the time. In the past week, but then he couldn't speak anymore. So I said, Dad, I love you. He's trying to move his mouth. And I said, I know, Dad, I know you love us too. So that was it. That was the second theme. No matter what he gave or didn't give, or support or didn't support, or provide or didn't provide, there's not one of us that doesn't know, from my mother, from my father, just how loved and how respected and how admired we were. Parent always loves a kid, whatever. I mean, I'm great, my mom's view, I'm great, my dad's view, like whatever. But it mattered. It really mattered. And, so thanks, old man. As you'd say, you done good. You gave us what we needed, Pop. And we won't forget you ever in life. Thanks, everyone, for coming, being with us today.
He's a lucky guy. He's got his 4 kids here. He's got Suri, Erica, Sharon, Ian. Got grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Some of the goals that he set out for his children we followed. I like to think that we lived up to what he had hoped. It even went further. That's blessed. That's blessed. And God willing, may we be zoche, privileged, all to be able to get the joy that he got from his family. Hopefully we can get that. We're going to be leaving soon to the cemetery, which is in Beth David in Elmont, Queens. And we're going to be sitting Shiva at Jesse's house, 16 Elliott Drive. God willing, during the week. We're going to try to have Mincha Mariv from about 7:45, 8, whatever happens. So again, in the name of the family, the entire family, I want to thank you all for coming. We should hear of Psorot Tovot, of good, what? We should hear good things all the time. We should hear of, right? Am I not translating it right? Good tidings. And that's it. I'd like to wish you all Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for coming.
I will ask if you would rise once more.
Everyone, we are going to be departing to the cemetery at 10:30 sharp. So at this time, we can stay here, we can talk a little bit, we can use the restrooms, but in a little bit, we are going to gather everyone to their vehicles to depart towards the cemetery together. Thank you very much for attending.